Hey guys, Bob Canada. Look, I wanted to put this little 15-minute blurb together on the concept of the network marketing model because it's absolutely sometimes criticized and absolutely often misunderstood. And I think if people really see it for what it is, it's brilliant. Okay, it made me a great living for 26 years, time freedom, and it can be that for other people too. So I want to be able to give it to you straight, and you make your own decisions. Okay, that's why I put on the front of this website because a couple of the plays that I'm working with absolutely evolve around the network marketing model. So let's understand it. If I don't want anything to hold you back from trying something that could change your life because of influences that you don't even know where they came from. Okay, so let's talk about it. As I said, it's often misunderstood. Guys, let's start off with life and really what we have at our fingertips in general. Career options. Well, higher education has always been promoted. It still is. Uh, it's opportunity to get into a much better paying career, and I understand that. But you also have to look at, which a lot of people are, the enormous amount of debt that people are getting into by automatically jumping in to a higher education. So whether you have that college degree job or you work in a trade, which is often being promoted this day and age, or just another job, working your way in a corporate, in a corporation or a body shop, whatever it may be that you're doing to make money. Okay. Now, obviously, I'm not here to knock anybody's careers and career choices. You can make money in all of these, but can we also face it that because the majority of these people are trading a unit of time for a unit of money, you can only work so many hours. So it's a struggle. And the reason is we don't have leverage. And that's what this model, I really want you to understand. And let's just take a look at the numbers, see if I'm correct about people are struggling. Guys, I just took this off Google as recent numbers. 61% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. 95% of everyone's income goes to necessities. What kind of lifestyle is that? Over almost 60% of Americans would struggle with an unexpected $1,000 bill that they had to pay. Imagine that. Okay. Less than 18%, 2 out of 10, less than that, are making a six-figure income in this country. So here's what I want to ask you. What are your options? Okay. Hopefully you're one of the people already there. But if you're struggling, you say, what can I do? What can I do? Well, you can go back to school, but is that feasible? And you're in your 30s, 40s, making a living for your family, and now you're going to go to night school or quit school, your job, and take up a regular school curriculum. Second job, but again, think about it. You're already working 40 hours. Now you're going to go work another 20 hours just to make ends meet. That's not the option. If you have to do, you have to do it, but that's not what you should be striving for. This is about concepts of what people should be striving for. Okay. Now you could start a traditional business that usually takes money, expertise, and keeps a lot of people out of that playing field. So let's take a fresh look at really the home-based business industry for what it is. First of all, let's understand how big of a business is. Guys, do you know it's a 75-year-old industry that basically has over 7.3 million people involved. It does over $36 billion annually. Now, in case you're trying to understand that number, the National Football League, right? Pretty big market, right? Pretty big brand, does 23 billion a year. Our industry, the home-based business industry, is actually a third bigger than the National Football League. Okay, now it's one of those things. Really? 167 annual in billions of dollars of sales worldwide, let alone, look, 36 billion in the United States. Take it worldwide, it's over 167 billion dollars. Okay. And it's a sensible option. Why? Let's look at the concept. You don't give up anything. You're not risking. You're not making a career change. It's a part-time business on your schedule. You're an independent contractor. You answer to nobody. Whether you work 2 hours a week or 50 hours a week, it's up to you. Allowing you, what does that allow you to? Keep your job, keep whatever, if you're in school, keep the path you're on and just weave this into your life. That's what we do. That's how I went from 0 to 6 figures in less than 3 years, gave up my job, had an unbelievable career for 26 years with one company. Now we're moving on to other things, okay? What else is brilliant about this? It's part-time, no financial investment. Okay, no major. Let me be clear on that. Most companies, you can get started and start building a business for free. A lot of them you come in for under $100 a rep fee. Some of them you do have to buy a product kit, but that's usually under $300. You understand? You can't start a lemonade stand for $300. Now, no advanced education, special skills needed, just a desire to succeed. Now you say, okay, not a lot of risk involved. Is there much opportunity? Well, guys, I'm telling you, you can build this into a few hundred a month, few thousand a month, but you also can build it into a 6-figure annual income. And that's what I did. And trust me, I'm no special person. Because how does that happen? We have a leveraged income model that not only are you leveraging off other business owners, not people working for you, but when they are building their businesses and that benefits you, that gives you time freedom. Now, let me ask you a question. We said we're going to be logical about this. Corporate America and doing a job, a career, or being an air conditioning guy, isn't it just the opposite? If you want to make higher money, you have to work actually more. There is no time freedom unless you employ others. And there we go with leverage again. Okay. And corporate America works the opposite. Okay. People at the top make most of the money, all the middle management and lower management and employees, they're the ones making a lot less than the hierarchy. Okay. You agree with that? So let's take a look at how it works. I'm coming in for a landing. It's very simple. Network companies use a model that doesn't require them paying a sales force. No salaries, no benefits to pay, no advertising expenses. We are the sales force, okay? Network companies develop their products or service, usually in, big companies, big corporation, not corporation, but buildings. I mean, real buildings. They're not underground somewhere. They hit major markets: travel, wellness, crypto, technology. Even one of the biggest growing real estate companies in the country is called, I think it's called EXP or something. It's based on leveraged or networking model, okay? What companies do, they do employ people. They to run the business, the actual company, marketing, training, payroll, IT, web development, whatever it is. Of course they have employees, but their sales force are people like me and you who just simply love the product or service and are, for me and a lot of other people, couple that with wanting a better financial position. So what do? We build and distribute the products and service through a sales force, building a sales team, other like-minded people. Okay, we're not twisting anybody's arms. We're finding people that go, yeah, for all those reasons you just mentioned, part-time, no big risk, I need more money. Yeah, I'll give this thing a shot. Okay, you could create a massive system of leverage with everyone doing a little bit. So let's get into it real quick, and I'm coming in for a landing. Since companies only pay these independent contractors when actual sales are made, that means they're not paying on advertising and everything else and middlemen. They can pay out about 40 to 50% in commission. So remember that. Now, the basic model runs on a simple premise. You just have to do a little. People enroll from the person who introduced them, and they come in for, as I mentioned, a few, either zero or a couple $100. Then, what's your quota? Everyone's worried about quotas. Between your own personal use, family consumption, or add in a handful of customers, right? Selling through your website, whatever it is, your minimum requirement, most companies, to earn insane money is about $100 a month. You're going to tell me with companies with 3, 4, 20, 30, 100 product lines or products, you can't find $100 a month to purchase your own vitamins, your own skincare, your own shampoo, whatever it may be, from your own marketing company with that, the help of your family, and a few customers do $100 a month. So can we get that out of the way that everyone, now most people are going to do a lot more, trust me, but just that little bit qualifies you for commissions. Then this beautiful concept of leverage comes into play, team building. You share the products and service with other, in most companies, just like I said, everyone doing a little bit. If you just bring in a handful of reps, okay, 5, 10, whatever, under that, you could actually grow an incredible, substantial monthly income. Why? Because they're doing the same thing potentially, okay? That's how I grew a team of over 30,000 people. It started with just a handful of people I brought to the table. Next thing you know, I had groups all over the country, all over the world. Didn't matter, okay? So companies' compensation really have evolved. They're brilliant. But I just want to, for a simplest version, I want you to understand why leverage matters, why the efforts of others, that they make as much money as you, if not more, but we're earning off everybody else's efforts by building a sales team. It's brilliant. So let's take the simplest structure just so you understand it. A 7-level structure. What does that mean? It means everybody you bring to the table. Okay, remember your customers are feeding everybody's sales volume, which I'll talk about in a second. But the actual rep tree, if you will, how many people also join you in the business? 2, 4, 20? They're all in your front line. That's level 1. That makes sense? Level 2 is very simple. All the ones that you brought in on level 1, it's all their people. That's your level 2. Makes sense? And that just goes down 7 levels. Now, you might say, well, okay, how powerful is that? Guys, well, you can use any number. Some people bring in 1, some people bring in 2, some people enroll hundreds of people. Okay, you never know who's going to do what, but let's use a simple premise, a duplicatable. Remember everyone doing a little bit? Bringing in over time 4 people like yourself that want the product, services, or more money. Okay, well, now this isn't going to go perfectly, but just to give you the idea of leveraged, okay, income. 4 people on level 1 times 4, 6 people on level 2, 64, boom, 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 boom. By the time you get to your 7th level, there's positions of 16,000, over 16,000 people on that 7th level. If you put the other levels all together, you could have a sales force within 7-level team of over 21,000 people. Now, if everyone just did that $100 minimum, remember, a lot of people are going to do way more than that. But what's 21,000 plus times $100 in volume? That's over $2 million in monthly sales volume. You understand the model? It's not, hocus pocus. It's mathematics, and it's brilliant mathematics. Help other people build their business. You make money. They make money. They do the same. The company's feeding well, and they're paying out what? That money that I told you they can. So let's take a look at the numbers. A company pays out on 7 levels. Remember, it goes deeper, but through that one, only 7 people are feeding off the money, right? 7 levels. 7, if they're paying 6%, everything's a little different. Let's say a company's paying 6% on every level. So what's 7 times 6? 42. There's the 42% payout. Again, it's not magic. Is that powerful if you start building a team within 7 generations? Guys, $2 million, over $2 million in volume, like I showed you, at 6%, you'd be earning over $131,000 a month. Not everyone's going to do that. I made a couple $100,000 a year. My friend Elizabeth, she made over $100,000 a month. I brought her into the business, okay? Isn't that amazing? She was below me, and she made 3 times as much as me. Crazy. Now, let's close it down with this, guys. Here's all of it. Here's the bottom line. This is a brilliant concept, okay? This marketing concept is absolutely brilliant if you take the time to understand it, okay? It's a matter of what's my risk? Nothing. What's my reward? Life changing. Just that's the reason to try this. The definition of insanity, guys. I don't know if you're struggling at all, but if you keep just doing the same thing and expecting results to change, they're not. That's the definition of insanity. So what I propose is get serious, start changing other people's lives financially, and that will automatically change your life financially. Okay, so let's talk, get back to the person. This is just a general concept of why this concept makes so much sense. Okay, hope I didn't go too long.